Evolution is a mystery. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be taking a look at the superstars of the WWE, specifically the long and winding road from their early careers to what they're doing today. Since a lot of the biggest names in wrestling are still pretty much in the public eye, just look at The Rock, we're instead focusing on wrestlers who have the most interesting stories about their post-wrestling career. For the record, we're not passing judgment upon any of these professionals, but rather comparing where life has taken these kings and queens of the squared circle. Number 10. Jimmy Wang Yang. You could be forgiven for not remembering Jimmy Wang Yang's tenure with the WWE, coming onto the scene as the Attitude Era transitioned into the Millennial Ruthless Aggression period. Nevertheless, this journeyman wrestler performed in the company's cruiserweight division, appearing mostly on such third-tier programs as Sunday Night Heat and Velocity. If you're a Cincinnati native, however, then you might be more aware of Yang's local pest control business, or the line of party bus ventures throughout the local area. It may not be glamour and bright lights, but there's something to be said about making an honest living. Number 9. The Great Khali. The Great Khali possesses the distinction of having enjoyed interesting career paths both before and after his WWE heyday. Born Dalip Singh Rana, the man we know as Khali was a Punjab police officer prior to stepping into the squared circle, where he stunned audiences by dominating early matches with The Undertaker during the mid-2000s. Today, Khali only makes sporadic, brief appearances on WWE television, preferring instead to enjoy celebrity status in his native India. He also opened a wrestling school and indie promotion by the name of Continental Wrestling Entertainment, and has even tried his hand at acting. Number 8. Val Venis. Hello, ladies. Perhaps contrary to popular opinion, the in-ring career of one Sean Morley didn't end after his gimmicks of Val Venis and the right to censor were put to rest in the WWE. Morley continued to work as a wrestler within such promotions as Mexico's CMLL, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Total Nonstop Action. Today, he's turned his attention towards another burgeoning market, namely that of the legal cannabis distribution. Morley works in Arizona for a local dispensary, turning his personal interest and hobby into a new line of work. Number 7. Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones may not have had the most impressive career in the WWE, but the odds are highly likely that you've seen this fearsome-looking Aussie on the big screen. Jones has enjoyed a fairly in-demand career as a silver screen heavy, winning small roles in big films such as Troy, Mad Max Fury Road, and the 2011 Conan the Barbarian reboot. This actually isn't all that surprising, given that Jones engaged in all sorts of physical activity and competition before utilizing his real-life incarceration for armed robbery as a pro wrestling gimmick. From powerlifting and arm wrestling to MMA and the squared circle, Nathan Jones seems to have done just fine for himself. Number 6. Vladimir Kozlov. Born Oleg Prudius in what was then the USSR, Vladimir Kozlov debuted in the WWE as a typically villainous foreign heel, before eventually turning babyface in a comedy tag team with Santino Marella. Still, this doesn't take anything away from the intense training he received in several real-life martial arts. Training that perhaps made it a bit easier for him to transition into the world of cinema. Today, he runs his own production company, while also working as a stuntman and occasional actor, appearing in big-budget hits like John Wick 2 and Fast and Furious 6. Number 5. Mason Ryan. Professional wrestling is an art form, so what's to stop an aspiring former competitor from trying his hand at something a little bit more elegant? Mason Ryan did just that after his career with the WWE came to an end, joining the ranks of Cirque du Soleil in 2016 as a member of their Las Vegas show, Ka. Ryan also appeared as a cast member on the British revival of Gladiators, itself an update of the old-school American Gladiators series, and was the star of a Welsh documentary focusing on his journey and wrestling career in the United States. Not bad for a small-town boy made good, no? Number 4. Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond Dallas Page seemed to work nearly every job in the business, from color commentator to manager, before finally debuting as a pro wrestler at the age of 35. This didn't stop DDP from becoming one of the industry's most popular and enduring superstars, earning championships and accolades in the WCW, TNA, and WWE. It's Page's post-wrestling career that perhaps earned him the most goodwill, however, and it's all thanks to his personal brand of DDP Yoga. The lifestyle and exercise program has been credited with saving the lives of such wrestling superstars as Scott Hall and Jake the Snake Roberts, and it's given Page a thriving career after hanging up his boots from constant competition. Number 3. Sunny. Tammy Lynn Cinch, better known as Sunny, was one of the WWF's breakout female stars during a time when a diva or women's revolution was still years away from being established. Sunny was an instant sex symbol and an early darling of the internet age, with America Online voting her as the most downloaded celebrity of 1996. Cinch would continue to work for such promotions as ECW, WCW, and XPW, although personal issues with drug dependency and arrests for DUI, burglary, and disorderly conduct would dog her work in the indies. Cinch would make headlines again in 2016, when she appeared in an adult film for Vivid Entertainment. Number 2. Stone Cold Steve Austin. You don't need to look very far to find Stone Cold Steve Austin. It isn't as if this defining face of the Attitude Era hasn't kept himself busy since retiring from in-ring competition, whether it be his work starring in action films or hosting his own podcasts. Steve Austin continues to work closely with the WWE, hosting an in-depth interview show on their streaming service, while also hosting another series titled Straight Up Steve Austin for the USA Network. At this point, the Texas Rattlesnake has a very effective, interesting, and lucrative brand behind him, and he's made the most of it at nearly every turn. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Kane. The career of the Big Red Machine Kane has certainly traveled down many different roads, but you'd be hard-pressed to think that anyone could have guessed that this was where he would have ended up. You see, that's because the man behind Kane's mask, Glenn Jacobs, is now the real-life mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, a position he assumed on September 1st, 2018. Because who said that the devil's favorite demon doesn't have some really good ideas when it comes to public service? All kidding aside, we can't help but get a kick that this former wrestling icon and horror movie actor now gets to put all of that energy into local government. Hail to the chief! Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.